chapter 10 of Ecclesiastes is labeled as a chapter of miscellaneous observations. Now, those types of titles for the chapters or sections within a chapter are not in the scripture text themselves. These are additions later. The numbers, the chapter numbers, the verse numbers, all those are decided by other people, not by the person who wrote Ecclesiastes. But it's a pretty apt description for this chapter. What we have here is Koheleth has a bunch of other thoughts that he or she just kind of shoves into this book now, as he's already kind of made the points that need to be made. So I'm going to read the whole chapter to you. I know the last couple lessons have seemed to be more whole chapter related and not breaking it down more, but that's the way Ecclesiastes kind of runs. So let's listen to what Koheleth has to say today. Dead flies make the perfumer's ointment give off a foul odor. So a little folly outweighs wisdom and honor. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of a fool to the left. Even when fools walk on the road, they lack sense, and show to everyone that they are fools. If the anger of the ruler rises against you, do not leave your post, for calmness will undo great offense. There is an evil that I have seen under the sun, as great an error as it may proceed from the ruler. Folly is set in many high places, and the rich sit in low places. I have seen slaves on horseback, and princes walking on foot like slaves. Who digs the pit will fall into it, and whoever breaks through a wall will be bitten by a snake. Whoever quarries stones will be hurt by them. Whoever splits logs will be endangered by them. If the iron is blunt and one does not whet the edge, then more strength must be exerted. But wisdom helps one to succeed. If the snake bites before it is charmed, there is no advantage in a charmer. Words spoken by the wise bring them favor, but the lips of the fool consumes them, and the words of their mouth begin in foolishness, and their talks end in wicked madness. Yet fools talk on and on. No one knows what it is to happen, and who can tell anyone what the future holds? The toil of fools wear them out, for they do not even know the way to town. Alas for you, O land, when your king is a servant and your princes feast in the morning. Oh, happy are you, O land, when your king is a nobleman and your princes feast at the proper time. For strength and not for drunkenness. Through sloth the roof sinks in, and through indolence the house leaks. I'm fumbling over my words. Feasts are made for laughter, wine gladdens life, and money meets every need. Do not curse the king even in your thoughts, or curse the rich even in your bedroom, for a bird of the air may carry your voice, or some winged creature tells the matter. So there are a few verses that jumped out at me. The first one is the saying that happens right away. Dead flies make the perfumer's ointment give off a foul odor. So a little folly outweighs wisdom and honor. The reason this verse kind of stuck with me is because I've seen the truth of this very often. A careless word, or I maybe didn't think through something before I said it completely, or I shot off an email before I had a chance to really review it. And it will, that type of thing can undo years worth of work and relationship building. Sometimes people accept apologies, but I've often found, unfortunately, even in the church world, that some people just never learn to accept apologies for honest mistakes. They always see nefarious purpose in everything. So that saying stuck out at me. It's a reminder that sometimes we need to be slow in our communications. In fact, Koheleth says that later when when he talks about patience may undo, calmness will undo great offense. taking time before, a friend of mine would say, make sure you're responding, not reacting. Okay? It's a wonderful thing, and it's one that I struggle with, and I know other people struggle with. Another saying that jumped out here in this chapter to me is verse 12 through 14. Words spoken by the wise bring them favor, but the lips of fools consume them. The words of their mouth begin in foolishness, and their talk ends in wicked madness. Yet fools talk on and on. Sometimes we talk too much. This is a danger for me. I like to talk. I'm an extrovert. I like to be around people. I've had to learn not to fill up the space with conversation just for its sake. And that's not necessarily saying what I'm saying is foolishness, but that is a very real danger if you keep talking, that you really aren't saying anything, that you're not adding anything of value to the conversation. So both of these, I think, are really wonderful lessons, and I'd like to encourage you to think about in your own life, when have you reacted and not responded? How might it be a good idea for you to begin that process in your life of making sure you're being a responsive person to the needs around you and to your own needs? How maybe have you run your mouth when you shouldn't have, said things you shouldn't have, and it's gotten you in trouble? I don't mean gotten you in trouble in the way that it needed to be said to stop someone, it was a healthy thing to say, but it was going to hurt somebody. I mean in the sense that you said things that really just didn't need to be said, to serve no purpose, or its purpose was to hurt people. When have you made those choices that were wrong? Take some time to think and journal about that today.